You.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool.
Look at the pace car, Bobby. It's what Boomhauer gets to drive if he wins his amateur race.
What's the pace car?
Well, it's the car that all the other drivers have to stay behind at the beginning of a race or whenever there's a crash. If Boomhauer wins, he'll have driving on the same track or as you look at it with Jeff Gordon.
Jeff Gordon's a race car driver too? I thought he was just a cereal box model. Hey, soda's here. Get your sodas.
Hey, I'll take one. I'm Uncle Son.
I can ask what I'm getting, sir.
Hear that, Bobby? That's good attitude.
That's what Mr. Witcher told us. He's my boss.
Maybe someday you can land a job like this.
Why not get it?
Mr. Witcher, I wonder if you had
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What it do, good people? What it do, good people? Let's get this show started. What is up? What is up? You ready, Con?
I'm good.
You ready? All right, here we go. Welcome to Blues House. I'm your host, Illuminati. We are back on this love. Oh snap! What is good, Kobe? What's good, man?
Good, man. How about yourself? Good.
I'm all right, man. I'm in high spirits, man. I'm ready to get this week started. Ready, you know what I'm saying? Ready to tackle the world, as they say.
That's what's up. Let's do it.
Yeah. So, you know how I like to start it off, man. If you want to support the channel, matter of fact, I'm gonna have this scroll in. I'll do that. Why is it not coming up? Either way. If you want to support the channel, www.buymeacoffee.com/blueshouse. I want to, it should be scrolling. It's weird, but yeah, if you want to support the channel, go ahead, go over there and support. Buy me a coffee, man. That's basically all you're really gonna be doing. You know what I'm saying? All it does is help the channel out, help us grow, help us come up with new concepts, new things, new content to give you, stuff like that. And today, not a big news. Not that I really know, but over the weekend, was that the weekend or was that Monday? When did this come out? The Carnage trailer.
Yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And we didn't have a stream yesterday, but we are back. So since I didn't have a stream yesterday, I want to hop into this Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage trailer. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. That's probably where we spend the multitude of the show today. Oh, we got comments already. What we got? XR, what's up, man? XR in the building. Let's see what XR talks before I even hop into it. Let's see what XR got. XR says the first movie was silly, goofy, formulated, and watered down for me. I skipped it. This one looks even worse. Carnage looked like an orange Venom Avi A-Rap sacrifice a badass character. All right, XR, we're gonna break down the trailer. And I'm gonna tell you this: I got some grievances, man. I got some grievances. Maybe not as worse as yours, but I do have some grievances. So
yeah, let's do it.
Do you want to show the trailer real? Do you want to do a quick trailer show? Or?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's put the trailer. Pull that on up. Even though they're probably gonna flag me for it, but who cares?
Everybody else has been showing it, so I mean, we might as well. Like I said, everybody else has showed it.
Mm-hmm. Pull it up.
It's promotion for them. They shouldn't flag you.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my channel ain't monetized. Ain't like I'm making money off of
right.
it anyway.
Exactly.
So, you know
exactly.
Oh man. Let me get this on out of the way. Pull it up. Slow is coming. It's coming, y'all.
Yeah.
I know. I got to do better.
Is it storming where you're at too?
I think it might be these add-ins and stuff. Yeah. I hear storming.
Yep.
Give it a second. Let it load a little bit. Until it loads, let me start talking about XR says. It looks like another formulated comedy for little kids. The kills probably will be off screen. Venom scene was forced and over the top. Like I said, XR, I got some grievances, man. And they might, some of them might be in line with yours, man. I do have grievances. But let's get into this trailer real quick. See if I can blow this up. Blow it for me. There we go. Can you hear that?
I can't. I can, but it's really low.
It's real low?
Yeah.
Let's see. I wonder if that's because a lot of people have said, I wonder if that's a StreamYard thing. I might have to come up with them because there's no way I can really like control the audio for this. I'm going to have to rock it that way, man. I don't have a way to control the actual
Oh, yeah. Okay.
screen share audio. So, yeah.
Associated with Marvel. It's not a Marvel movie. That's a big point.
Yeah. Daily Bugle.
Yeah. Ravencroft.
I think that was Shriek.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what do you how do you feel about it? I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go first.
I like that. Like I said, I like that we're in gonna be in mystery. I mean, we kind of know some elements of the story, but we don't know exactly what's going on. You know what Carnage's motivation is. It kind of seems like they're gonna go the way of maybe the cartoon, the Spider-Man cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It kind of seems like they're gonna go that way. I mean, if they're showing Ravencroft, that was in New York, that wasn't L.A., where the last movie was.
No, the last movie was in San Francisco, not LA.
San Francisco, my bad. That's where it's at. So I feel like we might get away from that landscape.
Yeah. I could see that.
I mean, the Daily Bugle's not a national, you know what I'm saying, newspaper.
Newspaper, right? It's a New York driven newspaper. I think we might be going back and forth But before I get into that, I just thought the trailer was all over the place. It, like you said, it didn't give us a concise narrative other than us seeing Venom being, I guess, made or you know what I'm saying, coming into his own during the execution. We don't know what's going on.
Right.
It's just all over the place for me.
Yeah.
And like I said, I have other grievances. Before we get super started, I want to let XR get his rocks off real quick. He says AVA Rad sacrificed a badass, violent, brutal serial killer for the shake of some more millions and his grandchildren. Dude needs to retire. He doesn't understand those characters. Plus the CGI on Venom looks off, is what he says. I'm gonna tell you this, XR. I don't know if this is the actual final, because we get a lot of trailers all the time that they're not gonna put, because they go up until like the last day with CGI.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. They go up until the last day, like the last week before it's being ready to be put into theaters. They're constantly gonna be tweaking that CGI.
Right.
I think this was something more to wet your palate, to get you salivating, and a feeling. I don't even think that this to me seems like
A rough cut.
teaser trailer, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This I don't think this is an official trailer.
Right.
I think it's more like a teaser, let you know, hey, Venom 2 is coming. You know what I'm saying? We still got some things we got to fix, got to work on. But I do think they are done filming, correct?
Yeah. The movie's been done.
Yeah. So they're done filming. I think right now that it's just on the cutting room floor.
Right.
I think so. With you saying that the CGI on Venom looks off, I'm pretty sure it's not going to look bad in the movie.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Because one thing Sony, I give them props for, is the CGI. If you go back and look at all the Spider-Man movies,
Yep.
That wasn't even including the last two with MCU. But if you go back and look at Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, and then you go look at the Amazing Spider-Man, that's some of the best CGI I have seen actually on film. You know,
look at other Sony flicks too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would give kudos to Sony. I'm pretty sure, like I said, whoever their special effects department is, they're going to give you a good product.
Definitely.
Right now, yeah, it looks a little off, and you know what I'm saying? But to get into it, what Kobe said about them going the way of the cartoon and stuff like that, I 100% agree. I think Venom, and we talked about this. I think Venom and Carnage, they're going the goofy, cartoony route because
to mesh,
to get more. Yeah. Like, no doubt, they're gonna tell a sadistic serial killer story with Carnage, but I need to tell it to kids.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? How and XR, I know what you're gonna say, man. I know.
Oh yeah, we're already ready for it. Yeah.
I know, but they want to tell this story to kids because Venom and Carnage, they're so cartoony, man. I just hate to say it. They're so cartoony. They're the perfect balance between cartoon and hardcore.
Right.
They're the perfect balance. You know what I'm saying? And that trailer wasn't a red band.
No, yeah. So we saw no blood and none of that.
Right, no blood.
It didn't even show a rating.
Right. Yeah. It's not a red band trailer. So take this trailer with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt, man. But like I said, I'm going to air out some of my grievances. I'm going to let you get some of your rocks off before we go deep into it. I know you just came out with another one. Let me see. Amazing Spider-Man 1, 2 had way better CGI than Far From Home and Homecoming. The MCU used too much CGI and no practical effects after Avengers 1.
Of course.
I can't argue that.
Right.
I can't argue that.
Think about the directors you used, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You went from Joss Whedon, who is a practical, you know what I'm saying, old school. Then you went to the Russos, who did most of them.
Russo.
Yeah, and they're all CGI.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
because you're getting Joss Whedon is an old seasoned director.
Right.
That's another thing too.
Right.
The CGI of today, he didn't have yesterday.
Yep.
And he's used to working with yesterday's cutting board.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and if it ain't broke, why fix it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Russo brothers, new age. You know what I'm saying?
younger guys.
Younger. probably more enthused about using CGI. And that's the thing with CGI too, right? We need CGI to pull off some of these special effects that had to bring to life some of these characters. But sometimes it will get a little too animated.
Over reliance on it.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I remember, I think it was Blade 2, when he jumped up on the wall and he came back down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He stabbed
Yeah.
the guy. It looked, I mean, that was a cartoon. It, you know what I'm saying?
It looked computer generated.
Right, totally computer generated. Now I still was like, damn, that's a dope scene, but it's a fake scene. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing about it was real to me. But what else he said? Why make the movie look dark if it's going to be lighthearted and family friendly? I don't. Okay, XR. I don't think it's going to be lighthearted and family friendly.
No.
I think that scene with him cooking breakfast and all of that.
That probably won't even make it into the movie. It'll probably be like a little montage. Yeah. Because another point that I just thought about is the fact that you didn't see an MPAA logo in front of this trailer, which means that it's not, you know what I'm saying, approved by them yet. No, it's not official yet. This is just stuff they had shot and they just put a smash cut of it.
Yep. That's exactly what I think it is. But like I said, it was because, and another thing too, the reason why it probably was all over the place is just like what Kobe said. It's not an official. This is not MPAA rated. It's not nothing.
None of that.
Just, I know you want to keep saying AVA Rad. Maybe AVA Rad did this on his computer at home, man. It just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I don't think that he did, but it's the equivalency of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He probably got some regular studio geeks who you know work for Sony to come up with, like you said, a smash trailer. Let's put this out. The fans want to see what's going on with Venom. Remember, Venom has been pushed back.
Yep.
So they didn't even have to give us the trailer.
Nope.
You know,
movie doesn't come out until October.
Yeah. So this trailer was kind of just to let you know that, hey, it's still coming.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's more so what it is. As far as lighthearted and family friendly, the first Venom wasn't, I wouldn't necessarily say it was lighthearted or family friendly. Is it cartoony in nature? And when I say cartoony, meaning goofy and stuff like that. But I think that's so it's more palatable
right
to the audience. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is also in the Spider-Man. Anything to do with Spider-Man, great response, with great powers, great responsibility, neighborhood friendly Spider-Man. You still have to play off of the Spider-Man myth, if you understand what I'm saying.
Because it's a sub story.
Right. It's a sub story that no matter how you slice it, it involves Spider-Man. Whether it's the Daily Bugle, whether it's J. Jonah Jameson, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be a lot of odes to Spider-Man. He might not show up in the movie, but it's going to be something that has to do with the Spider-Man universe in that. So take that with Spider-Man being the most marketable, probably well-known, they're the most well-known character in all of Marvel. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now you're throwing that against Venom, who's supposed to be his villain.
Yep.
But he's not really, you know what I'm saying? I can't play him as a villain because I'm selling him as a good guy also.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But my grievances, where can I start? Other than it being all over the place, XR, one thing that I do agree with you is the not so serious nature of Venom. And I thought maybe with the second one, because with the first one, after watching, okay, it's a little goofy. I thought maybe, and I still don't know because I haven't seen the second movie, but this trailer kind of still does give me that goofy nature. I understand, but I also thought maybe we'll get a little bit more serious. If you see what I'm saying, Kobe?
I understand.
Like I thought maybe
Venom's personality would change a little bit. Yeah.
I hate Eddie Brock. I hate this Eddie Brock, and the reason why, because he's not confident. You know what I'm saying? The thing
he's
about
been beat
Eddie
up.
Brock was he was right. You know what I'm saying? Like what is going on? This Eddie Brock is not confident. The Eddie Brock that I knew, or you know what I'm saying, grew up reading, and I know we got to take it with a grain of salt being transferred from the comics
Right.
to a motion picture, but Eddie Brock I knew was in the weight room lifting weights. This was before
He was
even
very,
got with Venom.
very narcissistic.
Right, very narcissistic. When he got beat out by Peter Parker for the job, he was like, "What the?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What's
he
going
was out
on?
for
I'm
vengeance.
Brock. You know what I'm saying? No, what is going on? This Eddie Brock loses his girl, goes into a bout of depression, and I hate to say it, XR might be onto something. They softened Eddie Brock up, made him more emotional.
Yep.
And I kind of don't like that. I think we need that uber confident Eddie, because now how do you break Eddie Brock?
He's already broken.
You see what I'm saying? He's already broken. How do you break Eddie Brock? What makes him tick? What makes him fight? What makes him want to be what is it? The anti-villain or anti-hero that he is. What makes him want to do that? I'm not seeing that from this Eddie Brock. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
What else? The Cletus Cassidy. I think that Woody Harrelson's going to do an excellent job, but them showing us, I guess, that execution scene, I didn't get it. Where, you know what I'm saying? Because okay, you're showing us that he's turning into Carnage, but where's the Carnage? You know what I'm saying? Where's the Carnage symbiote coming from? I guess that's my.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, that's why I say I feel like it's going to be tied to the cartoon. I feel like there's some way that, like, it's going to be tied, like, to, because in the cartoon it was tied to Baron Mordo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he came in and gave Cletus.
Right, yeah, you're right. You're
yeah,
absolutely right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just rewatched it. Me and my son, we just rewatched it. But I just, like I said, I it's kind of hard to say what direction they're going to go in, because I don't see them following that to a T. But then again, they might.
Mm-hmm.
It
gave me some Maximum Carnage vibes. Not to cut you off, because I know you said Noel might be involved, and if Noel is involved, I'm thinking Maximum Carnage.
Of course, that's what I'm thinking.
You know what I'm saying?
The Cult of Carnage.
Loosely based off of that. But I still don't. I gotta understand the motivation.
Right.
What would be Carnage's? Carnage's motivation, not Cletus's, but Carnage, the actual symbiote,
right,
was with him being the offspring of Venom. He wanted to kill his quote unquote daddy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Being there or whatever. So I don't know, man. This it's all over the place, man. I'm trying to understand. And it's the Eddie Brock for me. It's Eddie Brock for me. That's what's throwing me all the way off of this. I just don't like this Eddie Brock. And it's not Tom Hardy's fault. I think the casting of Tom Hardy is good, but I just think making him emo Brock is bad. I don't want emo Brock. XR, I'm with you, man. XR, you want me over? I don't want emo Brock, man.
But that's also the thing about it is we're getting a totally different director. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is the reason why they've stepped away from the guy who did this character in the first place. Right. So the guy who directed the movie in the first place, because he went with the more, I guess you call it a sissified Eddie Brock. You know,
call him emo.
Right,
emo
right,
Eddie.
right. You know, emotional. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. It's like I said, we didn't see enough in the trailer to know exactly what direction this movie is going in. So it's hard to kind of. It's really all speculation at this point.
Yeah, no, I'm not. And what I'm saying is, I don't think it's going to be a bad movie, and I'm not saying that to bash it or anything like that. I'm just calling out what I view already. I feel you. you know, yeah, these aren't deal breakers by any means. You know what
Oh,
I'm
I'm
saying? They're
definitely
not
gonna
deal
see it.
breakers.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Right.
It's just
It's
like
just what I'm looking at.
right. It's one of these things. It's like I don't understand why the trailer came out, but if it wasn't, like I said, if this isn't an official trailer, why did they make such a big deal about it? You know what I'm saying? And for people to get, like you said, you have grievances already. You know, that's kind of negative press, I guess, to get people talking about this movie in a negative way already.
Yeah. I'm on Twitter. I see a lot of people saying, this trailer was just it didn't lose them, make them not want to go see it, but it didn't build any more
Than
anticipation.
it already had.
Right.
So it kind of felt like a waste. You guys could have
Yes,
gave us an official trailer and actually gave us
or
something to be interested
right.
in, not just some of
Yeah,
the
they
scenes you
could have
could have
waited a
thrown
little
away
longer.
from. Yeah, from the movie
They could have waited. They could have. We could have went into Loki. Uh, or in the Black Widow. They could have showed this trailer at the Black Widow.
premiere.
Show.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
They could have waited until Black Widow. Boom. I know even with a lot of people saying, "Oh," but the only reason why they were clamoring for a Venom trailer is because they said that we're going to be giving you a Venom trailer. But then you give us
this crap.
I don't want to call it a half-ass Venom trailer because I'm pretty sure whoever put it together probably think that this is the best thing since sliced bread. But
It was lackluster.
it's a half-ass Venom trailer. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's a half-ass Venom trailer. XR says, I don't know. It seems like Sony got too influenced by Disney. Venom and Carnage probably will be cracking jokes during the fight scenes. I hope not, man.
No.
But you know what? Venom they didn't crack jokes during the last movie fighting. He says they turned Eddie Brock into a beta soft weak wimp, but that's Hollywood agenda trying to indoctrinate us and make us docile and beta. And he also says, I heard they're going to introduce the Noel cult.
Right.
Yeah. XR man, we are in agreement.
I mean, like I said, I can't disagree either. No doubt, man. I cannot disagree. Yeah.
I can't disagree with you, man. I don't know if there's a Hollywood agenda. I just think that they're looking at the bottom dollar of what's moving the culture. You know what I'm saying right now. Whose buying power is more important.
Right.
But he didn't have to be emo. That's all I'm got. That's all you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. They give you Peter Parker and they try to accentuate on who he is, him being an impoverished kid staying with his auntie, him being smart. They always try to, you know what I'm saying? Peter Parker's attitude and his outlook on life
stays the same.
Has stayed the same. Then we get, or let's do Spider-Man 3. That Eddie Brock was a horrible Eddie Brock, but his mind's, who he was as Eddie Brock was Eddie Brock. You see what I'm saying? Like Topher Grace playing Eddie Brock. Would I have picked Topher Grace? Hell no.
Nope.
But it seems like Topher Grace at least did the homework. I wouldn't say he did the homework. Whoever wrote Topher Grace's part did the homework on Venom and tried to give you a good Eddie Brock, a good backstory. It didn't work. It didn't work, but it seems like they tried.
Yeah.
It seems like with this, they tried to give you a whole totally different Venom because Topher Grace didn't work.
Right.
That's kind of what it seems like. It seems like they course corrected too much.
Overcorrected, exactly. Yep.
Overcorrected. You know what I'm saying? Like Tom Hardy, I think is a good Eddie Brock. I think he's a dope ass actor also, but
he could have played the Eddie Brock you're looking for way better.
Yeah, way better. And I think that fits him better.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because then we got Venom is goofy. The symbiote, the alien Venom is goofy. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with having a goofy Venom, right?
Yep.
Now give me a serious, hard as nails Eddie Brock, and I think you got the right combination.
Yep.
But when you have an emo, hold on, Blueberry, hold on, no, Blueberry, don't try to correct it now. Blueberry says Eddie Cop, and then came back trying to correct it. High five to hey Blueberry, high five, man. High five. That's funny. That's funny. But yeah, I think the contrast with the hard as nails, uber confident Eddie Brock and the goofy, more lighthearted symbiote would have played better. I think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
From a cinematic viewpoint.
Right. And even
because they war against each other.
Right. They war against each other. They got to come to a common ground.
Yep.
And then let's just take his background as an investigative journalist.
Right. You made it easy. You set it up and then you missed. It's like you swung and missed.
Mm-hmm. So here's a guy who is basically the police of, or the detective of the news world.
Right.
But he's real soft. You know what I'm saying? How would he even compete with the real hard-nosed journalist anyway?
Right.
Because, you know, he was supposed to be this big badass journalist back in New York.
Right.
So who was he competing with? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There ain't no Pulitzer being won. You know what I'm saying? No awards and nothing like that being won when you're this distraught and disheveled and just all over the place. You know, no confidence and stuff like that. So that's to me where they went wrong at with Eddie Brock.
You want to tell you something where I think they might switch this up some?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and read XR's comment because I'll go ahead and answer that question too. I'll go ahead and address that as well.
XR says, I don't know, man. After this, I lost all my hope for darker, mature, gritty characters in Marvel movies. If they can't do justice to Carnage, imagine what they are going to do.
Okay, so here's my thing about this movie. Why I think they kind of can't tell you a whole lot about this movie. Here's why I feel like we hadn't got an official trailer.
Okay.
This movie was supposed to come out before Spider-Man, right? Yeah. Original. You got what was the original release date of this? You got it?
Hold on, let me bring it up.
It was 2019. I know that, or 20, I believe.
That was 20.
I believe it was like September of 20.
Yep, September 24th.
Yep.
No, hold on.
That's this year.
Yeah, that was. Hold on, let me bring it back. That was this year's. Comes out in September. I'm sorry, my bad. It was released delayed. It was October 2020.
October, okay. And Spider-Man was supposed to come out when? When was Spider-Man No Way Home supposed to come out?
Spider-Man No Way Home.
The original release date.
It was November 5th, 2021. No, I'm sorry. Shit. I got them all mixed up.
November 5th, 2020.
Let me click. Hold on.
Okay. All right.
The film is set to be released December 17th, 2021. This isn't it. Wait.
Because I'm pretty sure this movie was supposed to come out in the summer before Venom.
No, I think Venom was supposed to come. If I'm correct, or if I remember correctly, I think Venom was supposed to come first.
Because I'm pretty sure that Spider-Man was supposed to come out in the summer the same time as Black Widow. I'm checking it now.
It was announced because it was just the title was just announced in March of this year.
Right, because they pushed it back because they couldn't film because of COVID, remember? The movie was supposed to be filmed and done. Yeah.
Yeah, filming began October 2020, so it would have had to have been somewhere around 2021 anyway.
Right. Okay. So
So it was the Spider-Man.
okay. So I feel like that's been switched around because I want to say that movie had an original. They were supposed to film it and it was supposed to come out not long before Venom, but still, my point still is still about to be valid. I feel like this is the Eddie Brock. They're setting up for the Spider-Man universe MCU to retcon Spider-Man 3 from Sam Raimi and this be our Venom going forward. I read an article today, and actually, one of my YouTubers that I watch, he did a breakdown on this about how Alfred Molina in Spider-Man No Way Home has already said that they're going to de-age his character, and he's going to be the same Alfred Molina or same Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I read that also.
So, with that being said, if we're getting those characters pulled from that, if we're getting those characters pulled from those movies that happened in that time period, that means they're going to retcon movies. That means they're going to pull movies out of existence. That means that Spider-Man 3, like we were just talking about, with the Venom that we had before, I feel like they're going to completely unacknowledge it. And this will tie in. These movies will tie in with MCU films going down the road. Because they're going to be multiple Spider-Men.
Right.
These are also going to, I feel like they're going to tie into both Sam Raimi Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire and the Spider-Man with Tom Holland as well. They're going to have one linear Venom. And they'll use the multiverse or however to push that forward.
Yeah. What I heard was this Venom will be retconning itself into the previous Venom's role.
Right.
I also, what did they say? That Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man will be the Spider-Man going forward for Sony.
Andrew Garfield will be. So they're going to have Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland play Spider-Man in the MCU. Or kill one of the characters.
One Spider-Man is supposed to die. From what I understand, it's going to be Tobey Maguire. He's going to be the one who dies.
Okay.
That way, because the deal, I guess the Marvel Sony deal allows, or they came up with some kind of way so Sony can have their Spider-Man and also get a piece of the MCU. Because now if I have Tobey and Andrew show up in the MCU Spider-Man, I get to get some of the MCU fans to come over to Sony side of the house by using Andrew Garfield.
Right.
Which makes sense. Marvel gets Spider-Man and the use of Norman Osborn.
Right.
But it's not going to be
Willem Dafoe.
Nope. It's not going to be William Dafoe. Now, William Dafoe, from what I understand, and this is just all conjecture and speculation, William Dafoe is going to be in the upcoming Spider-Man film, but he is not going to be the Green Goblin or the Norman Osborn going forward for the MCU. There's going to be a different version, a multiversal version who is going to be pulling strings in the background.
Okay.
Now, like I said, take that with as much grains of salt and stuff like that as you want. But
I mean, it just makes sense for all these stories to be cohesive.
Yeah.
You know, why? How here's my thing. How can they introduce Carnage into Venom without having Spider-Man? Right. The story doesn't make sense. So they have to tie it together somehow. And that's why I feel like we haven't gotten any, you know what I'm saying, reveal of this trailer or even a real trailer, because I feel like the movie can't move forward until we know about what's going to happen with Spider-Man.
What's happened? Yeah, I agree.
Everything falls on that. I feel like that's the biggest movie in the MCU right now is Spider-Man No Way Home. Everything relies around that.
I'm about to disagree with you. I think, and you make me a believer, man.
Oh, Black
Black
Widow.
Widow.
See, that's the thing,
Yeah.
though. I feel like that sets up a lot of things in the background. Yes,
Yeah.
and it makes a lot of points. But I feel like as far as that fact that movie was supposed to come out already, it's going to be big deal to us because seeing Falcon and Winter Soldier, we already know, you know what I'm saying, what's cooking because we can speculate. That movie is just going to make us be able to speculate more because we're going to have more to speculate on. I feel like with Spider-Man, that's the whole MCU and their whole plan and all of that going forward. So this is our reveal to you of, hey, you guys want a Spider-Man universe? Here it is. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
And yeah, not 100%, because even though Sony is still, this Spider-Man that we're getting is still a Sony property, people don't look at it as Sony's Spider-Man.
Right.
This is the MCU Spider-Man by way of Sony.
Yep.
So Sony wants a Spider-Man of its own, and it would make sense. Matter of fact, I think this whole multiverse thing is for Sony. It's not for the MCU.
This is true.
If you understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's going to fix some MCU things, but this has more implications on Sony being able to course correct, do the things that it needs to do to get its Sony Marvel universe up and running.
So they did that to help them catch up, I guess.
Yeah. Think about it. Even though XR is saying he doesn't like Andrew Spider-Man, I honestly think he was he's my top. He's my him and Toby are neck and neck. Toby was a better Spider-Man. I think he was a better Peter Parker. Andrew was, but that's neither here nor there. I think what's the new guy's name? Tom Holland. I think Tom Holland is like just the overall good everything. You know what I'm saying? But he's not top. You know what I'm saying? He's just, plus he's got a bigger machine behind him than Toby or Andrew.
He doesn't have to be as big of an actor.
Right. And he hasn't carried his own movie.
Right.
He's had Tony Stark in the movie. You know, he's had all these other people. You know, his movie's been more of an ensemble movie than a solo film.
I feel like that's because they felt like they couldn't carry it all on his shoulders. Him as an actor, he can't carry a movie like that yet. I don't feel like they have the faith in him to do that. Right. Just like I don't feel like they had the faith in Mark Ruffalo for him to have his own Hulk movie.
Yeah. And I agree with you. Yeah. I think maybe more so now because he's built his brand up, but I don't see Mark Ruffalo being a leading man anyway.
That's also why when they changed Thor's character in Ragnarok, he had to have a character to play off of. Thor and Hulk have had a dynamic since the Avengers, and they showed on screen the first time together. They've had a dynamic, so they played off of that and gave both characters a reimagining, I guess, in between movies.
But as far as what was that? Oh yeah, the multiverse. Yeah, I just think that's there to help Sony more so than Marvel.
I thought it was going to be for them to tie in the X-Men, but I feel like that's a sloppy way for them to not do that, though. They had all the opportunity in the world.
Well, yeah, they had all the opportunity in the world anyway to give you some kind of. They don't. I don't know. It's like they don't. I don't know if they're scared of the X-Men. I mean, because even with their announcement of all the movies coming up in this Phase 4. They give you they give you the Fantastic Four,
but no date,
whatever, no date, which is cool. But that's letting you know that they're in the background working on the Fantastic Four.
Nothing X-Men,
nothing related, nothing X-Men related. I know what it was a month back or 2 months back they came out with the Mutants, but I don't even know if that's actually real or not. You know what I'm saying? That could have just been somebody who you know what I'm saying, leaked that, but I don't know if that's 100% what they're calling it going forward. Kevin Feige didn't confirm it. Nobody from Marvel actually confirmed
right the
mute. You know what I'm saying?
I think it would be shameful for them to keep it moving and not give us that.
You know what? This is what, and I think I've said it before. I don't want Marvel to shoot themselves in the foot and miss out an opportunity of building, because the X-Men is a world you have to you need to start building now.
Right.
Don't wait the 5 years and then boom, we're just gonna throw X-Men in your face. Have mutants show up now. Just have a random ass mutant. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be X-Men related. It doesn't have to be a popular mutant. It could be a Morlock for all I care. But have a mutant show up. That way now it's canon. That way now it's in the MCU. And maybe they already did that. Maybe that's what Wanda is. Maybe that's what Scarecrow is.
You want to know something in a movie that nobody else is talking about again? And I think I said this once before: the Eternals. I feel like that might be a way in, and I feel like it's being overlooked.
It should be the way in, because the Celestials are the reason mutants exist.
They came down, they populated, and the gene just went down generation. Then the boom. Right. Yeah.
That's the reason they exist anyway. I would like for them to go ahead and start putting them in, because mutants have been around since at least the ancient Egyptian days.
Right.
Apocalypse.
Right.
We need to start feeding those or seeding those ideas and planting those flowers now. And I think they will pay off dividends later.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They don't even have to, you know what I'm saying? You can have some crazy geneticist who can end up being Mr. Sinister, right? Because he's a shapeshifter. You know what I'm saying? He could take on many forms. Who has been experimenting, taking people hostage doing experiments. They can have that just in the background somewhere. It doesn't have to be put, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It could be mentioned. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Just be mentioned, stuff like that. That way, it's easier for people to, when mutants are 100% brought into, it's easier for the audience to take that in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel they're just gonna throw it at us, and I don't want them to just throw. I got faith in Feige, his team, and everything like that, but I feel that they're just gonna. This one might be where they stumble at. You know what I'm saying? They might stumble out of the blocks with this. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
I hope not. I sincerely hope not.
Too, man. I hope not too, but it just, because it's too. The alley-oop is too easy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you get that alley-oop or you get that layup and you just wide open and you go up perfect form and everything, but you miss the layup.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's to me, that's what it is. It's too easy, and I think they're gonna take their eye off of the ball for a quick second and miss the bucket, man. You know?
Yeah.
But back to the Venom trailer, man.
Yeah.
What my thing is, as I'm trying to make sense of this trailer, I remember we left with him going to interview Cletus Cassidy.
Yep.
I'm guessing he's getting another interview. Is that what's going on? He's getting another interview to go and interview Cletus Cassidy before the execution.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a piece of Venom falls off, because as of right now, he shouldn't have the symbiote.
No, it should not.
So I would like to see how he gets the symbiote. How does it end up? I guess during the execution, he should already have the symbiote. Because to me, it kind of seemed like maybe they pumped him with the symbiote on accident. I don't know. That trailer's all over the place, man.
It kind of seems like they're trying to confuse everybody. Like they're trying to be spoiler proof.
Mm-hmm. Well, I understand that. I understand. Like, I'm not mad at this trailer. Let me be clear with that. I am not mad at this trailer. I understand. Let me just throw a lot of visuals. Let me give the people, they wanted a Venom trailer. I'm gonna give the people what they want. They want a Venom trailer. So I'm gonna just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks with the fans. I get it. Because I think they know that this trailer is not gonna make the fans not want to watch it. but it's not going to make the fans anticipate it more.
Right.
Right. So,
and it doesn't get, like I
I
said,
think
it doesn't give away any story.
no story whatsoever.
Right, because I feel like it has bigger implications. It means more. This movie means something to a bigger universe. That's why. I feel like that's why we hadn't gotten very much about Morbius either. Another Sony property.
Well, Morbius got pushed back even further than Venom, right? November? Was it November?
I think so. All before Spider-Man.
Yeah. I wonder if, and this is what would make sense.
That Spider-Man caused these movies to have reshoots. That's why they got pushed.
Yeah. Because everybody was thinking Toby and Andrew Garfield. What if they don't show up in? I hate to say it, in the Spider-Man,
but it's true. What if they show up in these?
In these, the Venom and the Morbius.
That's why you ain't seen anything about them.
And it would make sense when Andrew says, I didn't get a call about Spider-Man, and he was smiling. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he got a call about Venom or Morbius. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the multiversal whatever is broken. Maybe Venom plays more of a like you said, more of a role in the stories going forward than what we realize.
Yep.
I can see that. Because if Eddie Brock he's got to know about Spider. I hate to say it. Ain't no way he doesn't know about Spider.
Right. Come on.
Daily Bugle.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it just doesn't make sense for us to not get an official trailer about this movie that's supposed to be coming out this year, and we don't know anything about it. And then when they even asked the director, he even said had to beat around the bush. Did you read his little interview about the movie, about the trailer of the movie, about if it's connected to Spider-Man?
Yeah, I know Andrew. He was, what Circuit say? He was like, Eddie Brock, this is Venom's own world. There's going to be hints here and there that, maybe an homage. The Daily Bugle paper that you see is the same Daily Bugle paper from the first Spider-Man trilogy. But he said he isn't aware of Spider-Man in this universe. And I'm like, bullshit.
Come on, man. Yeah. We're talking about a character from Spider-Man's lineage. Come on, man. Yeah.
Right. My thing is,
they're doing a bad job of hiding the fact that they're tying all these movies together. That's what I feel like it is. They're doing a very bad job of it. And they're doing that on purpose. We're not lying to you, but we're not telling you the truth either.
But we're not telling you the truth either, Yeah, XR says the X-Men franchise is for those social justice writers. I don't think they're going to do justice to those characters. Yet to be seen, man. Yet to be seen. He also says Morbius should be R-rated. How are you going to have a vampire without blood, sex, brutal, and violence? Morbius he's a vampire, but he's not that type of.
He's an energy vampire.
Well, no, he sucks blood. He sucks blood. In the cartoon, he was the energy vampire because they couldn't do blood.
But I feel like they're good. That's the same way they're going to do this one.
But in the traditional sense of a vampire, other than him using blood as substance, he's not that type of a vampire. He's not Dracula vampire. He's not underworld type vampire. He's more so a mutated vampire bat. Think of it that way, right? Because to my recollection is there's nothing mystical, there's nothing magical or anything about the way he becomes a vampire. It's all science. You see what I'm saying? So think of him. He gave himself the super soldier serum, basically.
Okay.
But in vampire, you know what I'm saying? In vampire form. Think of it that way. Nothing mystical, nothing magical, nothing Dracula about it. Just, you know what I'm saying? That Howard Ferguson. What's up, Ferguson? What's up, man? We just here talking about this, trying to break down this Venom trailer. You know what I'm saying? If you got a comment, let me know what you got, man. Let me know what you
Right.
got.
We like to speculate.
How do you did you like the Venom trailer? Was it good? Was it bad? Do you think they could have gave us more? I personally think it was all over the place. Would like to know what you think about it. But yeah, but blood, I agree. Blood, brutality, violence. But remember, Morbius is not, and also Morbius is not a bad guy
Nope.
whatsoever. He's not a bad guy. He's looked at in a different light. You know what I'm saying? He has done things to quench his hunger, so to speak, but he is not a bad guy. He spends his time trying to overcome what he is. You know what I'm saying? So he's not a bad guy.
Anti-hero.
I don't even want to call him an anti-hero. I'm just gonna call him not a bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Because I wouldn't necessarily call him heroic neither. He's not a superhero. He's a scientist who happened to change himself. Think of Beast. Beast is not other than trying to, I guess Beast would be the wrong. Let me think of somebody else. Somebody who experimented on themselves because they were sick and the experiment went wrong. And now in order to help themselves, they have to actually go out and help themselves by any means necessary. If you get what I'm saying. That's kind of what Morbius is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He wouldn't do it if he didn't have to. If he literally didn't have to. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Stuff like that. He says, I guess Blade is going to drink soy milk. Blade does not drink blood. Remember, Blade does not drink blood. He hates the vampire side of himself. Mm-hmm. He came up with the serum so he does not have to go out and actually drink blood. Has he drank blood? Yes. On occasion, he has drank to survive. You know what I'm saying? But if it was up to him, he would not drink blood. He'll fight that thirst as long as he could. That's why they came up with the serum. Whistler came up with a serum. Just recently, Black Panther came up with the serum for him as he joined the Avengers, and made him, which is dope to me, because Dracula now has his own country. I don't know if you're reading this, Kobe. Dracula has his own country out in the radiated area of Chernobyl. So that's now all vampire territory, and it's recognized by the UN. But to keep Dracula and the vampires in check, the UN anointed Blade to basically be the constable of said vampire populated area. If they do step out of line and do unsavory things, because Wakanda has a synthetic blood that they're going to be sending them, so they don't have to go out and kill humans and stuff like that. Blade is then activated to go in and do Blade things. I think that's like one of the dopest things.
I think it is pretty dope.
That is dope to me, man. But yeah, Blade does not drink blood, man. Blade does not drink blood. Morbius is an anti-hero like Blade and the Punisher. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna disagree with you.
Right.
And I just don't like that. I don't want to call him an anti-hero because it's not his job. Who is he saving? Who is he not saving? To me, Blade has an agenda. Blade wants to kill vampires. And if helping the Avengers, helping the X-Men, helping whatever person comes, to his aid is gonna help in that mission, then he's gonna do that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Punisher also. If you're not in the Punisher's way and you're helping punish people, the Punisher's A-okay with it. You see what I'm saying? So the Punisher has worked with bad guys before. He's worked with good guys before. Same with Blade, same with Morbius. But to me, Morbius agenda is to stop his sickness. You see what I'm saying? That's the only reason why he doesn't have a quest. If it was up to him, he'd stay in his lab all day just trying to fix what's wrong with him. Blade has to go out and kill vampires. Punisher has to go out and kill evildoers, bad guys, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. He says those SJW writers are trying to neutralize the vampire nation. I don't think so, man. I think that's totally the opposite. I think they're bringing and I hate to go into comic books. I don't know if you're reading them, Kobe, but I can go on and on about these stories in the comics as of right now. I don't think they're neutralizing the threat. To me, this is making Dracula and vampires more of a threat in the comics because the same with X-Men. X-Men got their own island, became recognized by the UN, stuff like that. Now they're their own nation. With the vampires being recognized as their own nation, if anybody comes and does anything to the vampire nation, that's grounds for war. Remember, they're recognized as their own country now by the UN. That's just like if somebody came to America, killed somebody on American soil. That could be an act of war, an act of terror. Vampires would have every right now to retaliate.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? This makes the Dracula vampire story even more potent.
Mm-hmm.
Think of a nation that can't be killed by regular means. You can't necessarily go to this nation for fear of radiation, and then for fear of having your blood sucked dry. And the only real person who's watching over you is Blade. You know what I'm saying? Who is just the nonstop vampire killer. But that's not stopping, because on the other end also, Dracula is working on a quote unquote serum that will have them walk in the day using Wolverine's blood. This is one of the most intricate, dope stories involving Dracula that I've seen in a long time, man. I mean, I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. But that's just me though. That's just me. But you got any other things, man, to talk about when it comes to this Venom trailer?
Just that I hope we get an official one here pretty soon. Just because I don't feel like this was enough. I feel like this was just a lame attempt at trying to get some buzz on the movie, and it just, I feel like it didn't stick for me. I want to know what the story's about, but like I said, if it's going to tie into a bigger universe, I feel like they can't do that for us without shooting themselves in the foot, or without the chance of ruining Marvel's plans and them stepping on toes, and then Marvel saying, you know what, we want to back out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this is these two companies tap dancing around each other, you know what I'm saying? Or everybody tap dancing around Marvel. That's exactly what I feel like this trailer is.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I guess what I'm looking for when it comes to Venom, I hate that we're not getting the
proper story.
Venom Spider-Man dynamic. Yeah, the official Spider-Man Venom dynamic. Him running around trying to enact revenge upon
Peter Parker.
And I hate that we're not gonna get a black suited Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like symbiote Spider-Man.
Yep.
I think now doing this, and who knows, we could, because maybe these are some things that are gonna be retconned into it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But to me, that would be a stretch. But I think those are wasted opportunities. I always thought when they came out with Venom, even though Spider-Man was over there at Marvel, I would have.
They would make their way to each other somehow.
Yeah, somehow. Even because to me, it should have been included some kind of way. Eddie Brock shouldn't have been the first person to have a symbiote on them. I would have liked for that symbiote to have bonded with Peter Parker at one point in time, and they could have went back and told that story. I don't care if we wanted to do 10 years from now later on, but as a flashback some kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To me, that just would have made sense. But it is what it is, man. But I really don't have too much more to talk about it. Let me see what XR says. The more you know about the source material, the more you realize how watered the cinematic universe watered down. Yeah, I look, man. I know exactly what you're saying.
Of course.
Yes, the anything cinematic is always going to be watered down. Remember, this
You
is a
have to be
different medium,
condensed.
and yeah, it has to be condensed, and it has to be palatable for more than just the people who go to the library that read the book or is a comic book fan. You know what I'm saying? It has to be more audiences' eyes is going to be on this.
Yep.
See what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Only at one point in time, if there was, let's just say it was only one Venom book, right? One printed Venom book. Only one person at a time could really read that book. And that's how you got to look at books. So not a lot of eyes is going to be on books, whether it's
Yep.
a comic book, whether it's printed, you know what I'm saying, actual novel, stuff like that. But with the medium of going to the movies, I have rows and rows and rows and rows of people coming to watch this film. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
On a continual basis.
Yep.
That's another thing too. It's a continual basis. So for however long it's playing at the theaters, it's continuously being seen by somebody. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So that plays a big part in the reason why it's watered down, man. It's going to be critiqued more than a book is. Going to be criticized more than a book. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's just how the TV medium is. This isn't when television or movie theaters first started, when they were just, you know what I'm saying, when film first started, you could get anything and everything up on the movie screen because the only people going to the movies at that time really were adults. And there was no replay value.
Yep.
That movie played once, that was it. You see what I'm saying? And that lasted for a long time.
Yep.
Once the invention of the VHS, Betamax, stuff like that, to where you could actually, even with TV, remember that TV program would play once. There was no reruns, wasn't invented until probably soap opera era when they had the reason reruns would play was to advertise.
Yep. So
You see what
ad
I'm saying?
space.
That's the only reason why a rerun would play. Now, or I wouldn't say now, then along came VHS where I can record a show.
Yep.
I don't have to be there to watch it. I can record it, come back and watch it again. And that's also how nerd culture came about.
Yep.
Because you watching it one time, the second time you watching it might be a whole total different view
Yep.
of how you first watched it.
Of course.
That's what makes rewatching movies so dope. You might have missed this part. You might have dozed off, 5-10 minutes, dozed off, woke back up, missed the whole section of a movie. You know what I'm saying? Now your hands up in there like, oh, I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
But now you can go back and watch. You can have these multiple discussions. Movies live longer that way.
That's very true. Very true.
Live longer that way. So, watered down, they are watered down, man. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. They are watered down, but it's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Long as it's for a reason, I'm cool with it.
It's acceptable.
There's always, it's acceptable. It's always going to be flaws too, man. It's always going to be flaws when it comes to source material. Every director, every writer is different. You got to think Venom is a character created by Todd McFarlane and I forgot the other guy from the 80s, man. So Venom's been around for what, 30 plus years now?
Mm-hmm.
Going on if not 40. So you got a 40-year-old character, plenty different writers. Venom hasn't the first incarnation of Venom is not the incarnation of Venom that you're going to get today. And today's incarnation of Venom is not going to be the same Venom 10 years from now.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Every Superman has gone through multiple changes. Batman has gone through multiple changes. X-Men gone through multiple changes. Like and kind of like what me and Kobe said, it's the signs of the time. That's the reason why these characters change. But it's also one of the reasons why they last so long.
Mm-hmm.
Because if a character can't
transcend
and compete in today's times, then they just get rid of the character and come up with something new.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So you should be happy that as of right now, yeah, it might be some SJW, but guess what? Maybe 5 years from now, you might get your crazy, maniacal, bloody, you might get that Venom. But we got to try this Venom first.
Mm-hmm.
We got to, because this is the signs of the time. This is how society is. Maybe later on down the line, society might change again. It might be another renaissance, and maybe they want to go backwards. Maybe they want to visit the late 80s, early 90s Venom. You see what I'm saying? Maybe they want to visit some of those characters, stuff like that. But as of right now, that's not the signs of the times. And I know you might not want to see that, but I'm gonna tell you this: support it either. Support it.
Of course,
support it because
it's art.
This is a character that you like. You know what I'm saying? What I'm sorry, Kobe.
It's saying? Art. It's art you enjoy.
Right. Yeah, it's art. And like I said, if you really are a fan of Venom or any of these other characters that you would like to see R-rated, support them while they're PG. Support them when they're goofy. So, and you can be a critic and critique all day long, but support it, because if you don't support it and it crashes and it doesn't do good, guess what?
You'll never see it again.
You won't see it again, bro. Venom, if Venom bombs, if Venom flops, if that first Venom would have flopped, that's it. Because they was taking a chance anyway. We're coming out with a Venom movie.
Yep.
That was a chance they took. You see what I'm saying? It was a chance that paid off. But if it would have flopped, you would have never got a Venom movie.
Nope.
You might not even would have seen the Venom character show up in a Spider-Man film after that.
Nope.
Because the bottom line is it's money. And if it flopped and it left a bad taste in the audience's mouth, they're not going to take that character no matter how big of a character he is in the Spider-Man universe. There's always another character that they can use.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man's rogue gallery is
massive.
It's huge. Huge rogues gallery. So it's always another villain that they can use and just pluck out and put him into that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He says, the problem is these SJW NPC writers don't read comics or are fans of the characters. They are just there to improve their careers. I'm going to disagree with you. I think a lot of these writers are just trying to implement who they are into the characters. And that's what a writer is supposed to do. Take their... Think about it. I'll put it to you like this. If I'm a black writer and I come into a predominantly white space, which is what comic books are, I'm going to try to input my feelings, my life into the story, right? And I could be dead ass wrong, but I'm going to do that because for 60 years, I've seen white problems. I've seen, you see what I'm saying? I've seen white male problems, white male heroes, white, just white. I just seen everything white. And then the blackness or the black stories that's told were written by white guys who don't know what's going on. You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean by the signs of the time. So when they did allow black writers to step in, a lot of the stories changed. A lot of those characters was handled differently because the black writers was given the space to do what they had to do. So if Marvel said, man, you got full autonomy to work on Wolverine, right? I'm gonna try to keep his Canadian wild man lore going, but I'm gonna have him probably interact with a lot more characters of color, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I won't have him be so misogynist. Maybe I won't have him be so hard on women, especially if let's say I'm a black woman writer. You see what I'm saying? That's what you got to look at. And that's what I mean by signs of the time. So Marvel's not going to discriminate and have a discrimination case put on them because they don't want a quote unquote a gay writer or a black writer or a woman writer, you know what I'm saying? Any of the pronouns that we talked about last week, they're going to say, yeah, come on, because there's always a space for it. A lot of these writers work their way up to these big comic books. You see what I'm saying? To be able to tell these stories. They might have did a one shot. That one shot, it's like, oh man, that one shot sold. And a lot of people like this one shot. Okay, we're going to graduate you, maybe have you write on the next Thor arc. They write on the Thor arc. That arc might end up being one of the best selling arcs for that year. Then they graduate to a full-time writer, stuff like that. So That's how the characters change. It's not necessarily, is it to improve their careers? Of course, you want to go out and improve your career, man. I mean,
Right.
you know what I'm
Yeah. We
saying?
don't want anybody to stay the same.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say that they don't love these characters. But you got to think also, Marvel, and this is another thing too. Marvel is real hands-on. Real hands-on. They're not just going to bring some independent writer on and let them just go crazy and destroy the character because they're too hands-on. These characters mean way too much to Marvel.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? He also says, so are you saying the society of today's world are soft? I don't think they will ever do an R-rated comic book character ever again. You got Deadpool coming, man. What are you talking about?
Right. And
Todd McFarlane is
trying for Spawn. And that's the thing with Deadpool. Yeah. The funny thing about that is I've been reading that Ryan Reynolds is wanting 100% control over that. And I feel like that might be a problem.
Yeah. It is. And I don't think they're going to let that happen. They're not going to let that happen.
Do you think he walked from the movie, though?
No. Right now, I hate to say it, as hot as he is, the only reason he's hot the way he is because of Deadpool.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's his bread and butter. That's his. I know Ryan Reynolds from you know what I'm saying? Like, I know Ryan Reynolds from National Lampoon's
Van Wilder.
Van Wilder. I know him from that. A lot of people might not know him from that. I know him from Blade 3. I know, you know what I'm saying? I know him from a lot of other stuff like that. A lot of people don't know him from that. A lot of people know him from, oh, that's Deadpool. Especially the kids nowadays who are now turning into teenagers and turning into adults. That's Deadpool. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If he walks from that, he could potentially end up being a Netflix star, which isn't bad. But it's not being a huge Marvel star. You see what I'm saying? You don't want that. To me, that would be not necessarily career suicide, but it would damper his career a lot, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's just how I feel. And to answer your question, XR, as far as the society of today's world soft, yes, they are soft.
Very much so.
I do think they're soft, and it's I blame my generation. And others for not or for allowing said behavior. I think they have a lot of things correct also. I think it's kind of like 50-50. I think sometimes some things outweigh the other, you know what I'm saying? Like in the scale, today they could be super soft, but then here they go again. Now they're shedding light on all the atrocities and what's wrong with the world. So it just all depends, you know what I'm saying? But soft, yeah, they're soft, of course. But then again, I'm a guy from the 80s. To me, everything's supposed to be manly man, you know what I'm saying? A lot of testosterone and aggression. So when I see kids talking about mental health and being depressed,
you don't understand
stuff like
that.
I don't understand it the way that they understand it. You see what I'm saying? Hold on, give me 1 second, guys.
Technical difficulties. Yeah, man. Back to what he was saying there, XR. Like being a guy from, like he said, the 90s and even the 80s, being a part of that culture, man, it's hard to understand the way society works nowadays. You know what I'm saying? It really is hard to understand. Like he said, there's good and bad, but it's really all over the place, man. It makes it real difficult for a person that's like us, who we grew up with all the violence and all that stuff, to change like that, man. And it's real tough. It's really tough.
Yeah, it's real tough, man, to see that, to try to understand it, especially when I'm a productive citizen,
member of society.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Most of the people I grew up with, they're all doing productive things, whether it's working, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. And maybe I do have a mental issue, you know what I'm saying, some kind of mental issue that I don't address. And maybe we all do. I personally, them coming out talking about mental illness and stuff like that.
That's all part of being human.
Yeah, it's part of, and we should have somebody to talk to. Therapy should be a thing, stuff like that. But I think when I say they're soft, I think they use that as a crutch.
Yep.
I think that's the issue. I think my generation, I think we saw an obstacle and we wanted to overcome the obstacle.
Right.
I think now today they see an obstacle and they get depressed about it. They don't know how to fix it. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fixer myself.
Me too.
Personally, I'm a fixer.
Me too.
If I run into a wall and it's in my way, I'm gonna get some tools.
Nah, I'm taking a 4-wheel drive through that bitch. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Through it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna figure out a way to bring the wall down. Yep. I think today's generation will go up to the wall, touch on the wall, speak to the wall, put their hands on it. You know what I'm saying? Treat the wall like it's a human being, and oh, we can't take this wall down. It's such a pretty wall. They'll sit next to the wall and realize, you know, as the day goes on, they'll forget that they are supposed to be getting over the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stuff like, and it kills me, man. I'm like, what you doing? Why you sitting next to this wall? Oh, well, it was here. Yeah, but you got to get to the other side of the wall. That's where
everything is.
The goal is. And it's like, why you sit down next to it? Well, it's so pretty right here. It's so serene. It's peaceful. Yeah, but you got a dog about to come and bite your fucking face off if you don't get, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, the new generation doesn't know how to attack obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel.
They don't know how to handle their emotions.
Their emotions. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. XR says, I'm a 90s kid. Why I don't agree with this wokeness.
Yeah.
No, because I think 90s are right up there with my generation.
Right.
Right. I think you're a 90s kid. I'm 80s. That's not too. Remember, and I had to tell my daughter this. My daughter was born 01. I'm sorry, 02. And to me, that was right when the world changed.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The world hadn't changed for probably a good 60, 70, probably 80 plus years. The world stayed the same. My mother's generation and my generation, no big difference, no big change. You know what I'm saying? We still did things the same way.
Yep.
Yeah, technology came into a play, but the world was still huge.
Yep.
Now the world is
small,
big when you got that phone in your hand. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is easy now. It's crazy. With everything so easy, it's so hard for them to understand how easy the world is for them.
Yep.
If I would love to have the mind that I have now, but to be a 20-year-old right now,
killing it.
But with the same upbringing I have,
killing it. Man. You be miles above everybody in your age group, right?
Because they don't have that. They don't have the work ethic that I have.
Right.
They don't understand that if somebody cussed me out and treated me mean, I'm not finna raise my hand and point. No, they treated me mean. That's not what
I'm gonna get over on them by beating them at their own game.
At their own game. You see what I'm saying? So XR, that's why you're and I do think I think we are woke. I think you're woke. I think, like I said, this wokeness, quote unquote, social justice, NPC type things that you're talking about, I think it's being used as a crutch. Yep. It's being perpetuated like it's some kind of, and that's nothing new. Like everything that they're doing is nothing new. It's just they don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like people've been woke, people've been speaking out, but as Kobe said, we get a 4-wheel drive and we gonna run the wall down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't respect what I'm gonna do in here, then I'm gonna bring the whole building down.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I don't see them doing that. I see a lot of outrage as far as not being able to control your emotions. You know what it is? When in the movies with the drive-bys and they come by and they just spray up the block, but they don't hit the person that they're trying to hit, they hit everybody else. That's to me what kids today do. You know what I'm saying? They have a big temper tantrum, which doesn't solve the issue, but all it does is hurt everybody else who is around the temper tantrum.
Yep.
Except for the person who actually caused them to have the temper
Because
tantrum.
they're
You see
too
what I'm
afraid to
saying?
confront that person face to face.
Right. Like bullying.
Yep. That was
Bullying
not a
been
problem
around
when I was a kid. You picked up something,
why
you knocked a
now?
bully over the back of the head with it. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
You got over on that bully. That's what your parents
Whoop the
taught
bully
you to
down.
do, right?
Yeah, fight back. Like, to me, and I hate that we're off on this tangent, but you saying that, yeah, this new generation, they don't have any fight, or everything with them is underhanded, is do it behind your back,
Not to
you know
your
what I'm saying?
face.
Sneaky, not to your face, real sneaky with it, real disrespectful. Because they don't respect themselves, or it's fake respect.
Right.
You see what I'm
Fake,
saying?
right.
Nothing. A lot of this generation is ingenuous. It's not genuine at all.
They're wannabes.
That's how I look at it. Wannabes. They want to be like the Panthers. They want to be like Dr. CB and all.
But
all
you're
these
afraid to really make that a commitment and be that.
right, and be that. You know what I'm saying? They're afraid to be the Asada Shakuras, the Fred Hamptons.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The Malcolm X's, the Martin Luther Kings, and that's why you see a lot of internet gangsters and a lot of internet. You know what I'm saying? SJ. And I think that's what you're looking at. We live a lot of our lives
On the
online
internet,
right now.
right?
So you see a lot of internet SJWs, trolls, so to speak. I remember because social media isn't new. We had chat rooms when I was
Mm-hmm. Me too.
in the chat room. You know what I'm saying? And they would talk shit in there. You know what I'm saying? Do the same thing that they kind of do now, but it wasn't as prevalent because at the end of the day,
y'all are millions of miles away.
Right. One thing, nobody really took it serious because, oh man, you in San Francisco. I'm in
Yeah,
Florida.
man, you ain't gonna never see me, right?
Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's not like, and I guess that's what I don't get with cyberbullying. Right? Like,
bruh, y'all ain't even in the same place. Yeah.
And if it is local, because I see a lot of people say, cyberbullying, somebody released a nude of somebody. Let's say you was in high school, you know what I'm saying, and you were a female, somebody released your nude online and it traveled around the internet, right? All right, I'm a little embarrassed, but once I find out who released that shit,
that's a wrap.
You got to see these hands.
Yep, you got to catch it, right?
It's not. I'm not finna go cry in the corner and be like, "Oh, my titties is all over the internet." No,
you either going
for one thing,
confront the person or you gonna embrace it,
right? Or you gonna embrace it. Yeah, my titties they look good, don't they?
Right.
Either like you said,
celebrities do it all the time.
Yep, my titties look good. Or you finna catch these hands,
right?
You see what I'm saying,
right?
And another thing too, I gotta have accountability for that anyway because I shouldn't let nobody be filming me.
Boom.
That's another thing about this new generation.
That's how you're being brought up, right?
They're filming everything. Oh, we smoking weed. Oh, we doing this.
Bro, what is y'all doing? Yeah.
What you doing? What you doing? And now when the sex tape makes its round in the high school or the college campus or whatever, you embarrassed.
Right.
You weren't embarrassed when you had them set the camera up in the corner and do it.
Right. The worst part about it is I see people my age doing the same thing, and I'm closer to that generation that's away from that. And so, man, it's just like you said, to wrap it all up in a bow. Society is flawed, my friend.
It is. But like I said, the next 5 years could be totally different. You see what I'm saying? Yep. And that's when it comes to these movies, when it comes to how you look at what's rated R or being soft today, it could be totally hardcore in the next 5 years. They might go totally. If this Deadpool come out, let's say, I think if Venom is R-rated, let's say they just drop a whole bunch of R-rated movies, comic book movies, and they do good. Oh man,
that's the trend going forward.
Yeah, that's gonna be the trend going forward. If every R-rated movie that drops, especially if it's comic book related, does $1 billion, that's
the formula.
Going forward now is R-rated. What can we do to make this R-rated?
Take Disney's off of it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they'll do, bro. It won't say Disney's nothing. It'll say, "Bam!" Right in your face. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's just trends, man. That's just remember. And I hate to keep going back old school, but in TV, even it was a married couple couldn't sleep in the same beds on TV.
Nope.
Right? The man slept in his bed, wife slept over here. Hell, sometimes they didn't even have that as a scene.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
Bedroom
What
was
can
not.
what
Yeah.
lewd, right? What lewd activity can we not show?
Yep.
And then as the years start going by, the bed became one bed, kissing on TV. Remember, Star Trek made a big thing when Captain Kirk and Lieutenant what's her name? Uhura.
Yep.
When they kissed on TV, that was the first
Interracial.
Interracial kiss on TV. So they have to see. Remember, society dictates what's played on TV.
Yes, sir.
Not what's art, but what's played on TV.
Yep.
Because porn exists for a reason, right? All these different type of art forms, they exist for a reason. But when it comes to what society agrees upon, that's what dictate is going to be on TV.
And everything else is taboo.
And everything else is taboo. I remember what you would call it, primetime television.
Yep.
Right.
From
that was
8 to 10.
8 to 10. All kids were supposed to be tucked away in the beds at 8 from 8 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
There's no such thing as primetime television.
Nope.
No such thing. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with
Yep.
that? There's no because society and the way the family dynamic is set up, it made sense to get rid of that.
Yep.
Kids aren't watching TV no more anyway. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Most regular CBS, NBC, the big three regular TV stations, they cater more to an older crowd. Younger crowds go the streaming route.
Yep.
So when you talk about rated R superhero movies or superhero shows, Jupiter's Legacy just came out, R-rated.
Netflix.
Invincible, R-rated.
Amazon Prime. Yep.
Amazon Prime. You see what I'm saying? So when you say there aren't R-rated characters or there, you know what I'm saying, that's a falsehood because you're getting a lot of R-rated stuff.
Yeah.
Just not associated with what you would deem the big mainstream.
They're not there yet.
Nah, they're not. I don't, and to tell you the truth, Disney probably won't ever be there because Disney is all about princess power.
I feel like they'll take I feel like what they'll do is they won't produce them under Disney. They'll produce them under a secondary company. Yeah.
Disney proper.
Nope. They will
Disney
never
proper
put their
will
name
not.
on something like that. Never.
No. They're too much associated, like I said, with princess power. They make their money with children. And when I say children, I mean children.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Moana,
Toy Story,
Brave, Toy Story, what's the ice?
Frozen.
Frozen. You see what I'm saying? Those are characters that's going to live on forever. To them, I know they're winning with Marvel, but to them, Marvel could just be a drop in the bucket for them.
Yep.
Tell you the truth, Marvel might just be a drop in the bucket.
It's a movie for a specific dynamic.
Yep. But they do know that since the first iteration of Disney, they won with a certain formula, and they haven't changed that formula at all. They've tweaked it. You know,
They might pull from different inspirations.
But that formula of Disney is what it is from what it was started back then. That's why they can go into the vault. I don't know if you remember this back in the days in the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
Disney used to have cartoons about, we're opening up the vault. We're bringing out Snow White. Want to know why? Because they knew they could make more money off Snow White.
Yep.
Oh, we're opening the vault. Beauty and the Beast.
And then they'll sell it a special edition for a little while, and then they'll lock it away and stop selling it again. And people will, damn, I wonder when that movie's gonna come back out on DVD. Yep. Boom, now you got it. That's why Disney Plus was so huge for them.
Yep. And you'll see that. Matter of fact, because their servers are only so big. Disney has a lot of movies, but you're not gonna see everything in the Beauty. You know what I'm saying? Beauty and the Beast might be there for this month, and it might go away next month. You see what I'm saying? Yep. Pocahontas might be there this month, might go away next month, because I have to keep these movies in a rotation. I can't just keep them out because then
you lose the rights.
I don't want I want it to still have that allure about them. I need the new generation to understand what it means to watch Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Beauty and the Beast. You see what I'm saying? I need every generation that's coming up to understand what it means to watch these movies, why these movies are timeless classics. And once they feel that Marvel is like that, you're going to see Marvel that same way. Because believe it or not, this Marvel formula that Kevin Feige is using, the reason why Disney loves it, because it's damn near identical to their formula.
Yep, it's the business model.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's damn near identical to what they do. It's not hardcore, but it's hard enough to keep fans coming back for more, right? It's not gratuitous, over-the-top violence, but it's just enough violence to keep the superhero story superheroing, so to speak.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That way that they can gain without losing.
Right.
Because that's what it's about, gaining without losing. But I want to wrap it up, man.
Sounds good.
Final thoughts on the Venom trailer?
I hope we get a better one soon.
Yep. I will co-sign that. Hopefully we get a better one, an official trailer. And I want that trailer to be an official Red Band trailer.
Yes.
That's what I'm looking for. I need an official Red Band trailer.
So Sony, here's to you. Let's get an official Red Band trailer for this movie.
Give me that. I want to thank XR. XR, man, I'm gonna talk to you. I want to talk to you off air, man, and I don't know, maybe have you come on one time or something like that, because I really appreciate your candor.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your comments, man, and you actually make it. I anticipate you every time I go live, man. You really make it fun, man. I'm gonna tell you that. We get a lot of people also on Facebook. But sometimes it's not real time, and that's why you don't hear me do a lot of Facebook comments. But yeah, I want to shout out XR, man. So XR, I want to talk to you. I'm gonna try to maybe tomorrow early. I'm gonna hit you probably in the YouTube, some kind of way, email or something, and see about maybe having you actually come on, man, and hear your actual opinions without you typing on the keyboard.
Right, that would be dope. Yeah, like a round table discussion. I think that would be dope.
Yep. But yeah, that's our time, man. And like I said, if you want to support the channel, www.buymeacoffee.com/blueshouse. And we should be back tomorrow with a new topic. What do I want to talk about? I don't know.
Not a whole lot of news right now.
Yeah, it's not a lot, man. I know Invincible ran it for a while, and have you watched it?
No, I still haven't sat down and watched it. I just caught up on season 2 of Creep Show on Shudder. Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, take your time, man. But yeah, we'll be back with something new. It might be multiple topics, might just be one. But I appreciate everybody tuning in, man. I'm Blue, and that's Kobe, and we're out. You ain't got to go home, but you know the rest.
All right. Take it easy. Be safe.